testimony. I can already see that the network is glitching. As you come in, like the video, share, put one in the chat if you could hear me. There's an alarm going off somewhere. I see what looks like a fire alarm light. Greetings. Greetings. How are you this morning? I want to thank all of my viewers, my members. I want to welcome all of the new members. I do appreciate the donations. I will be getting to another donation reading. Just give me time. I do have a video ready to be published, although I don't know what time it's coming out. There's going to be a set of videos coming. Same type of style. However, when it comes down to the members, you get first priority. So I have to think of a way to present this next content. Greetings. Welcome to everyone coming into the chat. Dance Hall Diva. All right. Are you a dancer? All of you that have recently started viewing my content, I want to know what brought you to my channel. Okay. Did you used to be one? Because a name like that means you get down with the get down. In my clubbing days, I used to dance a lot. I would dance until I sweat. I made good time out of my clubbing days. I had fun. I was not a wallflower. Greetings, greetings. So what's happening is there's a function for my members where I've attempted to hide your profile. But I do believe something will be highlighted in the chat. Okay, well, that's a unique name. I like that. All right. So the reason for this live is, of course, to update, to thank you all for your continuous support, and to let you know what's taking place. As of yesterday, I've been seeing all type of visions. This morning, it's like a little light, like a cube. I seen the same thing last night, but I also seen like light beams coming from someone's head for some reason. It's almost as if someone had a Christos awakening. This is something new for me. I do know that with the add-on to the apostle viewing the content, it's a lot more peaceful. Now, this particular apostle does not realize he's an exorcist, which is interesting. This male, whom happens to be Anglo-Saxon, is a exorcist. The Star of David, which I call Dalaman, knows his energy very well. And this is the reason why I have that movie clipping for that particular reading. So those of you that gravitated to it unknowingly That is very much a spiritual reading. Although the information in there is sporadic, it is um, it is talking about the acquaintances, the energy that this apostle encountered, not throughout his lifetime, but for this particular paradigm. I don't believe he's aware that he's an exorcist. This type of exorcist, when he speaks words, energies come off of people. I do know that it is popular in Catholicism for exorcism, however, not in the Christian denomination. So, for those of you that are not aware that Christianity is a denomination of Catholicism, you are now informed. Greetings. So, what I gather from this addition to this psychic gift is that others are going to start seeing fractions of what I envision. Um, in this next upload that I'm going to publish, someone is going to start having dreams that talk about the afterlife. And specifically for this apostle, he's going to be dreaming of a diocese, which is very interesting. Now, this is how this information is coming to me. I know that some of you feel more comfortable with clergy members viewing my content. You also have to be aware that a lot of these archangels from the underworld used to be clergy members, particularly the Star of David, which I call Dalaman, the one that says, "What is your name?" He says that at the end of my videos. And he, in one of his lives, was a Asiki priest. Now, the type of priest that the Star of David, which is Dalaman, was and is currently is one that performs exorcisms. Now, in the movies, it is made popular by naming the demonic energy that is on someone. However, because the movies don't indicate why the names are being announced, people get confused. Now, in that particular movie, um, which is one of my favorites, they call out Baphomet, Beelzebub, and a few others. However, people tend to believe that those are the demonic energies that are residing inside of someone that is possessed. And that is not the reason for that. Those are the energies, the archangels, that are containing that being inside of that body. Which brings me to walk in entities and spirits. Some of you, you are already aware that I spoke about beings accompanying a body. You won't know because a lot of times it is while they are in the midst of growing. So what that looks like is several beings will come into one person's body throughout their lifetime. And because they do it like that, you tend to believe that that is your family member. Now, because I ascended high enough to be able to tell you this information, it is important that you all realize that it is walk-in beings as well as walk-in spirits. Entities come when you lay down with someone. So how it looks like to me is when you lay down with someone that is unclean, they leave an energy on you. And you could be in the midst of a conversation with someone and you'll see or feel something wanting to come off of you and go towards the person that you're talking to. It is something that if you are someone that is refined, or if you are someone that is non confrontational, you will feel it, you will notice it, but you won't act on that feeling. Now, this is an entity that wants to lash out at someone. When you have mental illness in the picture, it makes it worse because people with fluctuated honesty tend to act on those emotions. So they're unpredictable. Welcome to all that is viewing. Some of you, you want to know what is happening with your family members, and this is the reason why. When you talk about someone's versions, one person's versions, excuse me, of one individual, that means they have walk-in beings. So it's very important. Now, the physical aspect of it is if they're in certain places or around certain energies, they'll start to take on the features, the facial features, the mannerisms, especially if they are NSVJ of someone that is a distorted being. They'll start acting like them. They'll start believing that their experiences are their own. The other person's experiences are their own. Excuse me, y'all. The reason why it's important is you'll start to notice, especially in pictures, that people look different, especially if they are travelers. Say if I went from California to the Midwest and I took a picture, if I had a walk-in being inside of my body trying to take over it, you'll start to see facial features that remind you of someone you used to know if you know that being. Some people may attribute it to like swelling of the face, or if you're into party favors, you may say, "Oh, I look that way because of this. I look that way because of that, aging and this and that," but not necessarily so. The eyes is only one factor. One factor. When you have a demona C on you, those are the type that do wicked things. Wicked. When I opened up my timeline this to know, what I seen was a boy films his unaliver secretly, or something like that, and didn't know. That's what I seen this morning. Because this is a mixture platform of all type of genres, you're going to see a lot of different stuff, especially if you're not programming your algorithm to watch certain content. I'm not someone that watches content a lot anymore. I don't do it as much as I used to. So when I open up my YouTube, I see things that I have not subscribed to. So does anyone have any questions? Inisikisishiti. The apostle is a Esau. He's not in a diocese. What you're talking about is the clergy member with the white cloth that is around his neck. That is not who you think they are. What you all are going to start to notice is different types of divine masculines. When you talk about clergy members that are on the up and up, they are indeed divine masculines. So now you all understand that I don't just read for celebrities. I read for all type of fractions all type of beings that have all type of careers. These particular divine masculines do not realize that they are divine in that sense. A lot of times, elect ones specifically believe that they are the worst, and it is because they either were black sheep or they were the children of black sheep. So it can work different ways. When you talk about someone that devotes their life to God, Theeegod, that is something that is truly divine. In Catholicism, they really do it. They have a covenant. That means no intercourse outside of spiritual marriage. Now, excuse me, the mistake comes in when we put in the paper contract that is a man-made LAW. It's supposed to be not outside of the gods, Theeegod, spiritual wedlock. It's important for you all to understand that. And a lot of times when we start having children and we start deciding that we are going to pick our spouse, which is our wife or our husband in this sense, not spiritual spouse, because your spiritual spouse is a covenant that the God created with your divine wedlock. With the addition of the contract, which is indeed holy because of the information on it and what is used to document it, it made things more confusing. So people assume, okay, that if they propose and marry someone, that their union is sacred, and it is not necessarily so. A lot of times you'll get into these contracts, these man-made contracts with individuals that you have past life karma with. And the person that is truly for you, you don't even know because you haven't ascended high enough to meet them. When you talk about elect ones, which the books of Enoch's made elect ones popular. However, because it's not in any recognized doctrine, you all don't even know that it exists. The only way you run across information like the book of Enoch is for you to research. That means you went through a conscious gate. If you grew up in Christianity like myself, Pentecostal, then that means you didn't read doctrine outside of the Holy Scripture. So when you talk about men, clergymen like apostles and a diocese, these are ones that truly devote their life. Also, I want to put it in the air where it's fair. When we talk about clergy women, like nuns, they have a belief as well to cover their body and their hair for a reason. Now, some of you know that it is a thing in Islam, but you don't realize that it is a fraction of Catholicism that does the same thing, because in their doctrine, women with long hair are attractive. So they cover their hair so their hair is not seen to entice any men. These are ones that truly devote their life, and sometimes lives, multiple lives, to Theeegod. For me, being who I am, especially right now, it is not a hard thing to do, because the things that I see, what I know that women, not females, truly want is a counterpart that is truly there for them. And so what that means is laying down in that type of manner, because there's no intimacy when it comes down to these type of relationships, is not needed. So that means they can develop a friendship, a true friendship with a man, because males don't seek that type of intimacy. They want to hit it and quit it. You're right. When you talk about a clergy man, their approach to relationship is different. These are the ones that certain types of witchinaz go after because they are clean. These are clean men, spiritually clean men. The ones you're talking about are missionaries. Those are the ones that go to different continents and do their work. From what I understand, there was an era that were unclean. And the reason for them doing this type of pilgrimage was not to attract people to Catholicism or Christianity. It was for them to do other things. What someone is referring to is the POPE. That's something different. When you talk about apostles specifically, those are the ones associated with Rome and Istanbul, whether or not if they know it. Excuse me. You all, when I get to channeling certain type of angels, there's like a thickness in my throat. I have no cold or anything like that. It's something that happens naturally, and I believe it attributes to the changing of my voice. So now you all understand that it's not just dark energy, as some like to say. It is all type of energy. It's a mixture, and it's not to be mistaken. Those with a light voice like this one, that does not necessarily mean that they are completely light. These ones will get angry and vengeful because of the things that they hear. When you pray, you have to understand that there is angels that hear those prayers, especially when you say things like, I want to talk to Archangel Michael. The voice change, they did that to let you know that I could pick up someone else's voice if I wanted to. I could sound like anyone in this chat if I wanted to. It is not a ventriloquist. I have to state that. What it is me being who I am, an angel. This type of live is not because when I say for entertainment purposes only, for me. Now this is only for me. I don't know about for other channels. This is because of the content that I am displaying. It's not meant for you to say, to believe that I want to make you laugh at what is being presented. It is because of what is being said in these videos is the reason why I have to state it. Or at that time, I had to state it is for entertainment purposes only. You all, some of you all are taking it as if I want you to enjoy the content in a laughing type of manner. And that is not the reason why I say that. It is because what I am intuiting is so detrimental to someone's wellness and being, especially spiritually, that it is important for you all to understand that I'm not someone that has a doctrine, okay, to where you could take this advice and say, Ether said this and that makes it true, because at that point, I was talking about illnesses, I was talking about cases and things of that sort. So you all have to understand. Now, if someone says for entertainment purposes only on another channel, like a family channel per se, they are meaning in a way where the information or what is being displayed in the video is not true. My videos are true. So you have to understand that there is dual meanings. Now, this is something that is already popular in LAW. This is why you have verbs, action verbs, pretense, and things of that sort, is because the way you need to receive the information, they're giving you an indication of it. And so that is the reason why I say for entertainment purposes only. Some people say it because your responses, your comments to what you're watching. The butterfly effect was really popular on my channel a few years back, where I started noticing situations like deja vu. That is what the butterfly effect is all about. Remembering situations, and if something were to change, it is because of what happened in the future, not in the past. These type of movies I consider spiritual, so this is why I share certain things. Even the rappers that I share, their music that I share has a meaning. Somebody believes that the underworld likes rap when they're angry, and it's not necessarily when they're angry, it's the being that is presenting the music. These are beings that the underworld knows very well because they are reincarnates. You want to talk about Rick Ross, and we're not going to talk about Rick Ross. I've already stated why I like Rick Ross. However, the underworld is something different. Her content, his child's mother, children's mother, her content is not like mine. If you feel like she is confrontational, then you shouldn't watch her. There's a group of individuals that like that type of content, and this is why she is so popular. I have nothing against her because I am from the hood. That is why I like Cardi. Um, when I first encountered his children's mother or his child's mother, the information that she was talking about in her video did not put me off. I said, I'll watch her because she seems like an older woman that has some knowledge, okay? But shortly after, it is like she descended into distortion because she did become really hostile. And what I take is social media. What I mean by that, I'm drinking my coffee, y'all. What I mean by that is the things that people say, and then because you have individuals that want to sensationalize drama, they only clip certain parts. So it is as if they want her to be seen a certain way. It is popular with the movies. It is popular with reality TV. You'll film all day and probably only get 20 minutes worth of video. It just depends on how someone wants to present you. I know that it is popular for black females and black women to be presented in a dramatized type of way. So it's not a shock for me. It's definitely not. So does anyone have any questions for me? The donation viewer reading is going to be coming out soon. Okay. You all have to give me some time because I'm not in the energy where I could just do readings constantly all day like I was before. So it's going to take some time. I do need time to heal spiritually as well because I'm going through a lot. Physically, and spiritually. And because I have to be aware of my surroundings continuously, that means I need to be present all the time. Okay. What I mean by being present all the time, that means I have to be aware. And so for me to be in that type of energy, that means I cannot be focused on my spiritual career 24 hours a day like I was before. So the content may slow down, but it's not going to stop, at least for the moment, not forever. So if anyone has any questions for me, you can present them in the chat. For those that want to know the CA, it is $PEKA69. Again, that's $PEKA69. That is the medium that I am using at the moment because for me, it's the best one. That's not necessarily saying that it is the only one, but for me right now, that is the best one. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for that comment, which is true. For my members, specifically a tier two, because they're in the middle, they don't get content as much as tier three, and that is because tier three gets a video regardless once a week. So if you are a tier two member and you're new, please understand the videos that are there are timeless. So what I gather is specifically for tier two. These are the ones that have been there for a while. They're already aware. They possibly have watched all of the videos or most of them. So there's a plethora of content there. It's just when it comes down to new uploads, they are the ones that get them the least. Now, in regards to tier one, you all have to remember that that is a donation tier. So a lot of times when people hear that there's protection from the underworld, that is the tier that they gravitate to, and that's fine. I have close to 3,000 videos, so a $10 donation is not a lot for the type of content that I'm putting out. They want to say that it is an offering that is given, like if you go to an institution, and I appreciate that. What you all need to understand is that your money is being used in the utmost respectful way. I'm not going out and dancing and buying hair and party favors with it. I'm taking care of my child and myself the best way possible. Even a few years ago, I'm not somebody that spends frivolously. And so this is why the money that I accumulated throughout the years got me through those 3 years, because a lot of people that was up against me was saying, how is she living? How is she living? And her views are like that. For those of you that are new, my channel has been on the decline for 3 years. This is not something that just happened. It reached its peak and then it started declining. Someone is very observant. It is after I came back from my hiatus where the video where I talked about I am Choctaw, because somebody was insisting that I was African American. And there's nothing wrong with being African American. I just got fed up. If you have an elder telling you who you are your whole life, and everyone on the outside is saying, you're African, you're African, you're African, as if I didn't want to be who I am, it gets you upset. And it is a misconception that everyone with hue is from Africa. And it's important that people realize that that is a misconception. I'm from California. My grandmother, which said I am Creole, she says Creole. Shaktis, they say crawl because in their era, that is how you pronounce it. She is the one that said, "You're not African American. Stop telling people you're African American." Now, if you have an elder telling you to stop accepting the names that people want to address you by, you're going to go with the elder. If she says that I'm Creole, that I am Choctaw Native American, who is someone on the outside to say that I am African American because they believe I don't want to be African American? It's disrespectful. Even growing up, when I would say it as a child, they would say, she just want to be mixed. And I am mixed. I'm not mixed in a way where uh, it's noticeable like black and white. Okay, my mixture is one of hue. The type of crawl I am has Hispanic in it too. Y'all know of the French, the French mixture, but the type that I am has Hispanic in it. So if I were to start speaking broken Spanglish, you all understand why. It was a time where um, when I first encountered my universe mother, I walked around with an accent. When I would go into Hispanic communities, they were wondering what I was. Was I Dominican, or because of the locks and the accent? See, greetings, greetings. And see, it's very important because people say she don't want to be African, she want to be mixed, and the whole time you mixed, and you feeling some kind of way, like you feeling like, okay, well, maybe they're right, I'm African. They're saying I don't want to be mixed because they feel some kind of way about what they look like, and I'm saying you could be mixed and not necessarily be fair complected. You could be dark and be mixed. I spoke about this before. I seen a Cuban when I was in my teens for the first time, and he was so black, and his hair was straight. Y'all possibly have not seen Cubans that are black like a skillet with straight hair. Whether or not if it was processed, it didn't matter. He spoke Domasiqui. He spoke Dominican. I've seen men that look African speak Spanish. What you're talking about is the fraction that gravitates towards the UK and Paris. Those are the ones that speak French, but they're African. Guyanese is what you are referring to. I'm not Guyanese. What it is there is a group of West Africans that look a lot like Native American Choctaws. And even I said it, when I entered the conscious community, I started wearing fake dashikis and all type of stuff because it was a Pan-African movement within the conscious community. But at that time, I did not know that I was Krull. And it is when I did the research, there's a specific type of Samagese that look a lot like Native American Choctaws, but they're not. They're more on the Asian spectrum than African. Do y'all know how close those regions are? It's very important for you all to start doing your research. At one point I was looking for a globe because I felt like my son needed to know what a globe was, even though there is some misinformation on the globe. Okay, it was important for him to understand the connection and how things were connected at one point. I feel like the landscape has changed significantly, but I don't have any proof because I'm not a seismographer or whatever it's called. I haven't traveled. There's no way for a regular person to know if the land has shifted and water has developed in between two regions unless they are a traveler and they have that type of equipment. I'm not like that. The Aboriginal man is something that was really popular with me at one time, Moon. Really popular. Um, there's different types of Aboriginals. When I ran across the Americas, there is a doctrine. This doctrine is so old. This book has like close to 600 pages in it, and it talked about the original Aboriginal man in these different chapters. It is a book called The Americas. When I tried to look it up, because that would have been a book that I actually purchased, there was no copy. That means if you don't have that book, you're not going to get it unless they put it out. And I would be skeptical about something that they take off the shelf and then they reproduce it, because that means the information in it has been doctored. Okay, so if anyone wants to ask a question, it is time for women of color specifically to flex your intelligence. If you feel like you need to walk around with your hair covered for a statement, then you do so. Because when you add other heritages into the mix, when they see you, they have a different perspective about you. Some believe that because they have a wig on, their hair is covered, which is true when you're trying to grow your hair. But when it comes down to a respect factor, because of what is displayed by certain females, not women, when they have these pieces on, they don't respect you too much. Now, that's not to sway you against false hair or whatever, but I'm just telling you. I had someone tell me before, this was in my natural stage. This is when I took the wigs off, I took the weave out, and I started wearing more natural styles. I would wear styles with canunculon hair, the braiding hair, as an addition, which is more acceptable amongst our men. Okay, when I say our men, I don't mean like they're mine solely, okay? But you know what I'm talking about. When you wear braided styles or styles that with added pieces that mimic your hair, not the straight, silky hair that does not look like it could be yours. She told me if I wanted to get a good man, that I needed to start dressing different. And I'm thinking, where? Because for me at that time, the type of structure my body had was one where when I would wear pants, the best fitting pants would be the jeggings. Y'all know what I'm talking about? The ones that look like jeans, but they form fit. And what it was she was intimidated by my backside. She had someone that was interested in thick women. And when she would see me, because she was bi, uh, um, she would say things like, I'm going to get injections. Okay. At one point I had a flat stomach. Okay. Um, a small waist. I had a nice body. Now, right now, my body's going through some transformation. I'm talking about mid 30s because I'm someone that worked out. I worked out when I was younger. Now, I've never been a skinny mini, but I am no big old either. And there's nothing wrong with being big old because I didn't see some big O's that is some BADs. Some BADs, they bad, okay? But what I'm saying, I'm talking about for me. People will highlight things about you that they want for themselves and make it as if you're doing it on purpose. If I were to wear the type of clothing that she feels I should wear to cover my body so men won't be enticed by me, that means I will walk around in a big old robe all day. You know, and not look like I have the body that God gave me. Y'all know what I'm talking about? When I was younger, because I was not what they call fast, you know how the OGs say she being fast. That's a fast little girl. I would wear baggy. I would wear men's clothes because I didn't want that type of I was what they called a tomboy, true and true, and I was not interested in. Um, hold on, I was not interested in women. Because the music, I don't want to get a copyright, or I don't want to share the revenue that comes from this live in the future. I like the song, but you know, if y'all know the song, my bad, but y'all not gonna hear the song right now. Y'all ever think like, you know, when you get older, right? You start noticing things that are irritating, and the reason why there's certain LAWs. Now, one being this music playing. Now, how you know people not sleep? You see, look, this is really irritating me because he is sitting here playing this music. It is 7 o'clock almost where I'm at, wiping his car windows down, and I'm trying to work. This is the type of stuff that people complain about because it could be somebody's sleep, it could be somebody in a conference, and he wants to blast his music so loud and clean his car. It is a level of arrogance that comes from certain males. When we talk about males that do things like that, it's because they don't have respect. If you're going to be in a public place, common sense will tell you to turn the music down because there's others. We share a community. This is the type of stuff that I'm talking about. When you're in your 20s, you hear a song, you know, you feeling it, you like, yeah, you know, but you see how this is? I could be on the phone with the MAYOR or the Prez or something, and here he is in the background with music that I like, but I'm looking unprofessional. This is things that people start noticing when they become content creators. Your environment will become hectic in the background. You trying to present something to your viewers, and it's all kind of bells and whistles going off like right now. You know, turn the music down, clean your car, and get on. And he looked like he up there in age. This ain't no teenager, and this is not no young adult. And it's today Friday. Today is Friday. That's probably why he doing it. You know, So, for those of you that have nice stereo systems, when you stop the car, everybody don't need to know what you're listening to. Turn it down. I seen someone back up with his music blasting, and I thought to myself, now, I mean, it's just, I thought to myself, he cannot be black because it is known. Now, it's just a thing now, I could be wrong, that when black people specifically back up, they turn their music down. When he got out the car, he was Hispanic. I thought that was so funny. I said, so these are the ones that when they back up, they keep their music going. I thought that was hilarious because growing up, that was something that a lot of people noticed when black people specifically uh, reverse. They park their car, they turn their music down. Some of you may start to notice it. Some of you already know what I'm talking about, because we want to concentrate. We don't want to hit whatever's back there. So what I gather is it is a part of your brain that you tap into when you get ready to do things that throw your equilibrium off. Okay. So backing up will throw your equilibrium off. But because he's Hispanic, he's a Hispanic man. I just thought, well, what type of what part of the brain is he tapping into? He was getting off of work. This is a construction worker, and boy, he was tired. Boy, he was scooting. He was scooting on to where he had to go, and they are really hardworking men. Okay. So what I'm picking up intuitively is there's going to be Hispanic men. Okay. I do have a lot of Hispanic men that protect me. It has been like that my whole life. When I go into certain areas, these are the ones that open the door for me. These are the ones that, if something happened, if my car break down or something, they stop. Anglo-Saxons too. Now, I spoke about this too. When it came down to black males specifically, usually they keep going. Now, I know that's not going to sit well with those of you black men, but you know what I'm talking about. There's a level of disrespect when it comes down to black women. Now, it's understandable with black females, but with black women, especially black women with children, you all need to start learning how to differentiate between the two. You don't just stop and help someone because they have a long lace front on and a nice butt, okay? It's important for you all to realize that there is black women, especially elder women, that need your protection, black man. Okay. The reason why I highlighted Hispanic is because those are the ones that, uh, if I'm in a situation, a dire situation, or if I'm stressed out, they don't care if I have my hair covered, if I have baggy pants on. If the God puts it in their heart to speak, to talk, to offer, they do it regardless to what I look like. So you all need to understand that it's time for you black men to take your role in the community, and it starts by highlighting black women and the ones that you don't want to sleep with. Let's put it that way. Because a lot of you do it to the ones that you want to sleep with. Now before I get off of this live, okay, my lives are go up and down, and it comes by you all sharing, which I really appreciate you all sharing, um, and the introduction to new viewers when they come in. That I am indeed an exorcist. Somebody says either is an exorcist or psychophysio. They want to hear the underworld. Either is an exorcist. That means when people encounter my energy, not just my videos, things are taken off of them. And because I do not sleep around, okay, I don't have any entity attachments. No one is laying down with me putting their entities on me. Do you all understand that? See, he back there. That window is the cleanest window ever. Okay? Hold on, y'all. I bet you his car is cleaner than his house. Hold on. I can't stand this dude. I swear, y'all, I can't stand him because I can't stand it. It's too early, first of all. It's too early to hear ninja, 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 ninja. You know, even when I was younger in my 20s, I didn't want to hear all that. That's not the that I mean, I got my two short moments now. Don't get me wrong. I got my two short moments, but it's not gonna be 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm not waking up saying it's time to bump. It's time to bump Too Short. Okay, that is it. The reason why I say Too Short is at one point, Too Short music got really disrespectful, and I said, I can't. For some reason, when it was coming from Short, I said, no, can't do Too Short right now. And when I'm upset, when I'm in my masculine energy, and y'all see that video pop up, that means you need to take that in the utmost disrespect because that is one of the most disrespectful songs. So when you see it, that means Ether is sending a message to somebody. Now this dude here, I'm telling y'all, he cleaning the rim, he cleaning the rim of the car door. He detailing it right now. That's what he doing. He making sure it ain't no kind of that fog from smoke. He getting all of that. He getting all of that. He irritating. Hold on. I'll be darned. He bumping Too Short, y'all. It's a message in this. I'm trying to tell you. It's a message in this. Let me tell you what happened. He done spent the last 7 to 12 hours partying. Okay, he didn't. He ain't been to sleep. And he ready for the weekend. Now this is somebody. He look like he in his 30s or 40s. Okay, he look like he in his 30s or 40s. He getting ready to get him some more party favors, but first he got to clean his baby mama car because that's got to be his baby mama car. It looked like that car is giving baby mama. Um, the reason why it's important is you start typing these types. The God knows who that is, TheEegod, and he knows why he came in my energy with me doing this live. Now, he was not playing Too Short before I said it. So things like that make a difference. So I know it's a message in what just took place. All right, so if there's no questions for me, I'm going to go ahead and end it here.